good at that. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Talk about singing and streaming and just having a nice casual sing and stream.
There you go.
Not something people can
Now
do
you can
anymore
do.
because Twitch.
Right? Because no.
But you know what we got? We got
We
Cyclops.
got. We've got the Cyclops. The Cyclopi? What is Cyclops plural? Cyclopses?
I mean, you were the English person, so I
know,
will trust
that's my brain
whatever
just
you
like,
say.
I mean, Vecna is Vecna. That was a clear one.
Yeah.
I want to say Cyclope. No.
Cyclopses?
This might be one of those things like deer are deer, and deer is
maybe.
deer. Cyclops or Cyclops.
I could see Cyclops being, the plural and the singular. Quick, chat, what do you think?
Hi,
chat. Oh, hi, chat. Oh, hi, chat.
How you
Welcome.
doing?
Hope you enjoyed the Lego stream that was happening. We will have a community Q&A coming up after us, but you know, so far Fridays have become the relax while you play Idle Champions with us stream. It's kind of nice.
It's not a bad way to wrap up a week, honestly. I kind of like that.
Yeah, something to look forward to, right?
Yeah, I'm here for it. But yes, hi everyone, and welcome. It's Friday. It's time for another Paint and Slay. I am V. Above me is Lauren, and this is Shrek. Questions later.
Callback. All the callbacks.
Oh, we got into the callbacks. But I'm looking at chat off and running with the suggestions. I have
Cyclades?
Cyclopi? Cyclades?
All right, so Amanam it says makes a good point, which is Cyclops is Greek. So
Cyclopodes.
I don't know if it really would be cyclopodies, but that's funny. Ileantra says Cyclades. It's definitely not Cycli. It'd also be Latin. Yeah, you know, it's also the made-up creature. So
yeah.
Whatever your dungeon master says is what's correct.
Yeah, not me about to run to my Greek mythology book after the show and look at what they do for plural forms of Cyclops. Anyhow, this week we have things happening in the game, obviously.
Yeah.
It is Friday, which means it is the weekend. I mean, in our book, it's the weekend. This chest. So, hey, look. Nada!
I mean, I may not be a fan of pranks in general, but mischief is fun. And that chest is just really, really
that's cute,
colorful and lovely.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I like that one. So again, weekend, if you haven't signed up for a newsletter yet, definitely make sure you do, because once a week, I mean, we talk about this once a week, so obviously once a week, we will send you a Weekend Buff newsletter, and in that newsletter we give you a free thing. Like this week is the free gold prank chest. So that is something to definitely check out when you log in to play Idle Champions. Just opt into the newsletter. You'll get a newsletter right away, which gives you Hitch to unlock, which is not a bad thing. And then just keep checking things out. Once a week, we'll send you a newsletter with a free gold something chest. And every once in a while, we'll send you another newsletter because there's some really important news that we want to make sure you're aware of happening in the game. But again, we give you a free chest. So basically, newsletter equals something free usually. Okay? So not a bad deal. We definitely do not make use of it to a point where it becomes an irritation for you. It's literally like every Friday around this time through, the afternoon, you'll start getting those newsletters your way in your inbox. And remember, when these do launch, they don't launch all at the same time. It's not like you're releasing the dubs. It's more like they go out in sections and batches.
Newsletters.
Ta-da! That's a fun image.
Like a magic trick.
They aren't jealous, but they're like flapping pieces of paper.
They're pigeons.
I'm in the middle of campaign building, okay? So my brain's going into very fantasy level images right now.
I mean, we're all here with you. I mean, we're a D&D based game and stream, and so we can follow along.
I like this. All right, cool. So yes, that's what you can have to expect this weekend. And then we also had an announcement that happened. That was yesterday, right? The big announcement?
Yeah. Oh, geez. Today's Friday. So yes, it was Thursday. If you missed Dev Insights, which I know I've been trying to get Dev Insights up on YouTube as quickly as possible after the show, because they like to announce things. And yesterday they announced, along with a blog, a new feature that is coming to Idle Champions. The
Champion
there we go.
Search. There it is.
Champions search. There it be. So yeah,
Yes.
if you are looking to try to figure out, hey, what champions do I want in my bench for specific things? If you're trying to look for champions for a specific adventure variant, this will help. And so yeah, if you want to check it out, you can check out the VOD of the stream that happened yesterday. It should be up on YouTube now on our Codename Entertainment YouTube. Here, I'll put that in chat. Also, if you go to our website, there should be a blog up with all kinds of really pretty pictures and explanations. Yeah. And that should go live next week. So keep an eye out for that update along with, Vecna.
Vecna. Yeah. All the Vecna.
All the Vecna.
All the Vecna.
Vecna. Say yes to Vecna.
Exactly. I like it. It's a good slogan.
I wish I'd thought of it weeks ago.
Right?
It's a little late now, but...
Of course that's the way it always happens. And also, do we have Gabe? Right?
Yeah, we should have Gabe in chat.
We have Gabe in the chat. I don't know why my brain's just like, who's the moderator today? We have Gabe in the chat. If you want to ask questions, remember it is all in caps, question, : and then ask your question, and Gabe will pull them for us and pop them into a document so that we can see what you have to say, because sometimes we're going to be staring so much at these dudes for painting purposes that we might miss the chat comment that's, sliding on by in the chat itself. So just make sure you do that. Please, that would be good. Thank you very much. That all being said, we are hopefully going to complete the Cyclops mini from WizKids D&D Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures. We've been working on this for the past couple of episodes, and today we're going to keep moving along. We've done the skin. We just started working on the hair. We were at this odd point last week where it's like, well, we still have about 10 minutes left. What can we paint? And we started painting the boots. So what we're going to do is finish painting the boots and then go back to the hair and get that squared away. So for the boots, we were using dark flesh tone.
Dark flesh tone. Yeah, I pulled out all the paints, and now, of course, I gotta find... There's a part.
Now you gotta find all the things.
Yep. Yeah, so now we've got a Lego game, a Lego stream going on, and then a painting stream going on. Like we are a regular crafting and makers afternoon on Fridays. What?
Imaginal Disc just realized what I did. You are exactly right.
So for our friends at home who might not be watching the chat, Imaginal Disc says, V's Cyclops mini coloration. Looks like Fry and Leela from Futurama had a baby who got really into weightlifting. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I could see that.
The hair looks like Fry's hair, so I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
That's my Easter egg for y'all.
I love it. I'm here for it. I also need water for this pink because it's real thick. It's thick.
Well, plus it was also that thing we sort of nodded to the Hypnotoad when we did the Froghemoth with the eyeballs. So I thought it'd be fun to do another Futurama callback.
Is this like a yearly thing? Now we have to have yearly Futurama callbacks?
Right?
I'm here for it. Let's see. I want...
Good news, everybody. It is.
Good news. It's time for more painting.
Right? Oh, God.
Yeah, I got most of the boots done, but I definitely missed a few spots. So this is a nice opportunity to go back and be like...
Poke. Being a little bit more fussy was the reason why it took me longer. It's like...
There's nothing wrong with that. Like we always say, there's zero hurry with this. We can we can paint and take as long as we want for the painting. It's the point of this show is the show. It's not like these minis need to go on sale or something. So we can do what we want.
I do what I want.
Yep. Although one day it might be fun to pull one of these minis out that we've painted and use them on an actual game, but I have to get a game in person.
That's actually going to be happening. on my end
Ooh.
because I started making my list of minis I'm going to bring with me to the castle for the game I'm DMing.
Yeah.
And I'm pulling a few of the ones that we've done because thematically
Ooh.
they work quite nicely.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I'm like, you're
When you're
coming
done
and
with
you're
the
coming.
castle, you'll have to tell us what
I
they were
know.
so that you're not accidentally spoilering for anybody who might be
And
going to
that's,
your
oh,
castle game.
and that's just it. Like, I'm trying to be very careful about spoilers and like sharing too much. And I'm currently finishing up the Big Bad Evil Guy mini because I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to do a really fun mini, something the players can, have as a memory type of thing. And as I'm painting this and taking pictures, I'm like, oh, but I can't share. I have to hold on to these. I can't share these like I normally
Mm-hmm.
do. So forewarning everyone about end mid to end July, my socials are going to be chock full of like minis I have been working on, and you thought I was just not doing minis anymore, and then ta-da!
Yep.
You're going to see all these minis I've been painting. But yeah, I'm so happy with how BBEG has turned out. Not BBEG Deerstalker, BBEG for my campaign.
I feel like that's, excuse me, a perennial problem with being a dungeon master just in general is you it's very hard to find people to talk to about the things that you're doing, not just
Mm-hmm.
minis, but like just the campaign in general, because
Right.
it's not uncommon for the people you want to talk to about your game to be the people who are in your game. It's like, well, but that defeats the purpose.
Right.
Uh, it's one of the several reasons that I actually enjoy that my partner Luke and I do not really play in too many games together, or at the very
Mm-hmm.
least, the games that we play in together, we're both players and neither of us are DMs
Gotcha.
because
Yeah.
he can come to me and I can come to him and be like, so I gotta do this, and then my players did this, and we've got
Yeah.
people that we can come to and talk to about it.
I mean, that is the nice thing about the castle is that I'm interacting with my players right now. It's not that I don't know them, but I don't personally know them as friends that I would, feed back on and type of thing.
Hmm.
So it's cool. I can still talk to my friends about what I'm plotting. And I've been, buzzing the ear off a few friends like, this is what I'm thinking about doing. What do you think about this? Do you think this is good? But for
Yeah.
me, because the mini painting is such a thing I am used to sharing online, when I'm
Mm.
doing all these minis now, I'm kind of sitting there and it's almost like, but I want to share.
But this is
Mm-hmm.
art I want to show
Mm-hmm.
off.
Yeah.
It'll
So
happen. We'll
it'll
get
happen.
there.
It'll happen. It's just it was so funny for me to realize, oh my God, wait a minute, I can do. Okay, so I have the boot painted. I'm gonna flip back to
Gut. Das
the
gut.
hair. And in this case, we're gonna tap back into the Tarask Carapace. And we're gonna use that to highlight the hair. What I'm gonna try doing is, these are some pretty definitive spikes going on here. So I'm actually going to try and take my detail brush and just quickly add a brush stroke onto each of these bits of hair. See how that's starting to look? I might flip over and be like, you know what? Just dry brush, it'll be easier. But I'm going to do that to start.
Yeah, I'll join you in that.
Cool. Oh, I need to shake this more.
Yeah, we don't often get to use this color,
That's just it,
so
yeah.
it definitely settled in mine.
Yeah.
Imaginal Disc says, in honor of this show, I bought more mini paint off eBay I didn't really need. 2 whole sets of WizKids paints. Although I did need shades of pink, need shades of pink that it included. Mixing my own pink has always been hard. Okay, so is pink a hard
Pink is a hard
color
color.
to?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Because pink plays off of, pink can read more salmony or it can read more violety. So it's kind of like gray. That's why gray and pink go so nicely together, because they can fall into warm, neutral, cool very easily. So
Okay.
trying to mix your pink colors can be a little bit tricky, because depending on the type of red you're mixing with and the type of white you're mixing with can very much skew the result you're going to get.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, we've been doing this for 106 episodes. I'm still learning stuff.
Right.
I mean, I'm just still learning about mixing paints, how to get specific paint colors in general. Like, I understand the color wheel.
Right.
And I know intellectually, oh, okay, mixing these two colors should get this color, and
Right.
mixing this should get this, and adding this, that kind of thing. The basics, obviously not, so advanced. The problem I definitely have, and I've talked about this before, is the whole warm tone, neutral tone,
Mm-hmm.
undertone
Yeah.
thing. I just have a hard time seeing it.
Yeah.
It's just me, and it's always been that way. I'm that person who, whenever someone's like, "Oh yeah, you should really think about wearing this color because you've got these kinds of undertones," and I'm like, "What?
I have
I
what now?
I thought I was just a pale pink person. I've got a what?"
Oh.
The color wheel is not full of lies. It's full of basics. That's all.
Yeah.
It is a starting point.
Exactly.
But yeah, that is
There's a really cool, and I don't remember its name because it always pops up in my reels when I'm like just zipping through Instagram and YouTube.
yeah.
There is a YouTube channel, and now that I'm saying it, I'm going to make sure I pay attention next time, where they basically take dots of paint, and it's like this color dot of paint, this color dot of paint equals, and they mix the paint together so you can see what the colors are that get mixed together. And it's actually
Oh.
it's entertaining. Well, I find it like soothing, quite frankly. Like, oh, this is relaxing. But it's a cool
Yeah.
way of seeing how different color paints working together make different blends. So, long way of saying this. I'll make sure to grab the name next time and share it with you all
Yeah,
if that's
definitely.
really something you're keyed in on.
Because I don't think I'm not colorblind as far as I can tell.
No.
I think it's partially just a detail thing that I miss, and partially just have I've never had to do anything like that. All of my training has been with the ear parts, not with the eye
Right.
parts.
Right.
So,
And it's like for
uh
me, I literally grew up with fabric swatches in my parents' dining room because my mom was an interior decorator.
yeah.
So colors have been a part of my life since I was wee.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's half the fun why uh I like listening to Luke and you talk about paint stuff, or when I'm doing
yeah.
sketching hour and we've got the artists on here, being able to listen to people who have that kind of um training, but also just that
Exposure to
practiced
it. Yeah.
eye
Yeah.
for stuff. I find that fascinating, but I definitely have a hard time when people talk about undertones, and people talk about complex skin tones.
Mm.
That's the point, and where
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, but I'm just, what do you mean I have a what? I
Yeah.
thought I was just like a light pink. I thought I was just
No.
one of those white people who just had nothing special going on. What do you mean I have an undertone? Are you sure
Everybody
you're
has an
looking at the right
undertone.
camera?
Everybody does. A
No, that was too much. That was too much.
little too
Okay.
much.
Yeah, I'm enjoying doing the highlighting with the orange, but I'm definitely trying to do uh highlights here.
Fair.
Mm-mm.
Do 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 do.
Oh, typing is hard.
Uh huh.
There we go. Typing is hard. Imaginal Disc says, I started learning photography and painting as an adult, and it genuinely changed how I perceive color in the same way people who train in music can hear chords and rhythm. Yeah, I mean, it totally makes sense. It's I was watching something just yesterday, and where the people on stream were saying that music is a language. And it is.
Oh
It's
yeah.
absolutely a language. It is something that if you don't practice it, you lose it.
Yep.
And it's got its own rhythm, and it's got its own notation, and it is something that you can learn, and
Right.
but you got to practice.
Right.
And it is definitely not something. I've also run across people who are just like, oh, I have no ear for things, and so I can't really appreciate music. And I'm like, well, I've no eye for color, and I still appreciate art.
Yeah.
You don't have to be you don't have to speak the music language in order to enjoy it. Here I am enjoying color stuff,
Right,
even
exactly.
though I'm still learning this language too. So
Yeah, it's, it's something that with time and practice you can definitely tap into. Okay, so here's the hair with those highlights and the Tarrasque carapace,
here's the hair as a Tarrasque.
right? Roar!
There's
Da, da, da.
it's a little harder to
Yeah.
show off on mine, but yeah, I'm liking how that looks.
Yeah, it's a fun like way to kind of highlight the hair. So now that we've done that, let me grab my notes. Just for a split second, forgot where my notes went. I was like, oh, oh.
Loopy, and I'll say this for all of chat, if AutoMod is moderating your message, 9 times out of 10, it's just some weird combination of either words or letters or something. Or it may be a word that is innocuous in the way that you are using it, but we've had to block for other reasons.
Yeah.
My usual suggestion is take a look at what you have said and see if you can say the same thing in a slightly different way with different words. Chances are there's a word in there that AutoMod has decided it does not like.
No soup for you. Okay, so now that we have that done, we're going to paint the wrap. And that we want black pudding.
Yay, black pudding!
Black pudding!
One of my favorite colors.
Wait, is it black pudding? Yeah, black pudding. Where'd my black pudding go? Did I not take out black pudding? Le gasp! Yeah, I think I forgot to take out black pudding.
Meanwhile, whenever we start to pull out colors, if there's a black on the list, I immediately just grab black pudding, and black wash, and I just go whoop, all 3.
Got them all. There's black pudding. Found them. Doopa doopa doo. Are you just gonna sit?
And the wrap, you mean the clothing,
the thing around the waist.
Yeah.
That is what's going to get this treatment, not not the ropes. So actually, it's going to go here, and it's also going to go on the wrists.
Okay,
so
but
skirt,
not the rope.
The skirt, the loincloth, and the wraps.
Yeah, I think this counts as a loincloth.
Okay, cool.
I also do not know if there is a technical definition of loincloth.
I would have to look that up, to be honest. I beg your pardon. Depending on the thickness, you might need to thin that out a little bit.
Oh, I definitely had to. I love me some black pudding, but it is as thick as black pudding, so I just immediately...
Yeah. So yeah, in plotting with this, I thought it'd be fun to bring a little more color into the Cyclops, because if you look at traditional D&D artwork that's out there, they're very monochromatic.
Yeah.
Which is great and all, but when you're doing a mini for 3 episodes, give it a little dash of color.
Yeah.
Which I know
there's no reason why Cyclops can't wear fun colors.
Yeah, and it's going to make more sense, because I'm sure you're all thinking, but V, that's black. It's because of the highlight that's going to go onto this fabric that you'll realize what I'm doing here.
It's also black pudding. It has the cool blue.
It has that bluish
bits
undertone,
in it.
like a midnight, yeah.
And I mean, you can already see how much it stands out from the rest of what we've got on this mini.
Yeah.
So by color can include black if it is it's the variety, right? It's not necessarily the specific color, but the variety of it.
Yep.
At least for me.
Yep, it's just changing things up.
So apparently pink, according to Loopy79, has one of the most interesting stories of any English color word. It actually means to cut away the edges of something. And because of that word, a particular flower with eaten away edges is called a pink, the color of which is a very light red, from where we get the name, the color pink. I'll have to go look up that flower.
There we go. It's also why the color blue wasn't a word for a while.
I heard about that.
Yeah. If you go back into ancient texts and scripts, things like the ocean was as dark as wine, not dark blue. And there's theories behind why that was this case. Some of it could be just, the way the human eye was basically advancing and evolving. The color blue may not have been as visible to us at a certain point in time. So that and the other thing, or it was just the color blue as a word itself wasn't necessarily used until a certain point in time.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's history the history of color out there that's just fascinating and really very cool. If you haven't gotten into that, I definitely suggest go down that rabbit hole on YouTube. Yeah.
A weekend of color theory, of learning about the history of color.
Yep. And the fun thing is you'll tap into a variety of different types of YouTube channels, from archaeology-based ones to historic fashion ones to just painting ones. Yeah, it's cool stuff.
The only thing I know is that I did hear that it's not because the color blue didn't exist. We may not have had words for it,
Right.
but blue was a thing before we had the word for blue.
Yeah.
Because there was apparently some weird conspiracy theory that
blue
didn't exist.
Appeared. No, blue was there. It was it was either we just didn't have the word to express that particular color. There's other theories that we, how certain animals can only see certain colors. Like at one point for the human species, it was the same situation, and then suddenly we could actually see the color blue, etc., etc.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been that more of the human race was like me and just did not have the practiced eye for color. It was just like, yeah, it's a this.
It's a dark color.
It's a this.
It's a dark color.
All right, let's see how much of the underskirt I can get before I accidentally paint the thigh black.
Yeah, and if you're in the underskirt area, there's underwear essentially. Paint that the same color.
Will do.
I'm not gonna go to the effort of trying to give him tidy whities. Nope.
No, I'm just trying to get all the spots without getting his thighs. That's my goal here.
Fair.
Folks are talking about orange and pink and bronze and
telling you, there's this whole genre of the history of colors that is just fascinating.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
And then you get into the modern equivalents of people deciding we talked about this last week, deciding to make like the blackest black and the pinkest pink and
the silveriest silver.
That was, oh geez, yeah. Yeah. If you get a chance for those playing the home game, if you look up whatever, I don't remember what the name of the company is, but there's the company that does like the silveriest silver and stuff like that. Just look up like the pinkest pink.
Yeah.
And they've leaned into the the somethingest something.
Mm-hmm.
And how ridiculous that kind of sounds, even though that's relatively accurate. And it's just funny.
Their marketing copy, whoever pulled that together, big double thumbs up. It's amazing.
Yep. V and I spent a significant amount of time just enjoying the way that colors were talked about on that site. It was fun.
It was really good.
Crud.
What happened? Uh-oh.
Got on the thigh.
Oh no! It's a tattoo. It's a tattoo.
There we go.
Actually, I just did the same.
I think I got most of it.
Whoopsie doodle.
That's right. Y'all just got to deal with me sucking on a paintbrush.
I stopped apologizing for that years ago. I know I do it. I know it's a bad habit. I tried to break it. Not happening. That's decades of habit. That was nope, not happening.
I just didn't want to just waste the time of trying to figure out
I
where
know.
to put the brush down. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna suck on it. So that's the way it's gonna be.
That's just the way it is. Doobie-doo, doobie-doo, doobie-doo.
That's how you know I've spent a lot of time on stream. Is I am willing to let people see me doing things like holding a brush in my mouth,
right?
just to make it work.
Make it work.
I think I'm at the point where I'm gonna have to move to a smaller brush. Actually, I don't think I have a smaller brush.
Ooh.
Well, I'm on a 4/0. I don't know if I have anything smaller than that. I just realized. Maybe this might be a 4/0 that's a little more flared. Maybe I've got a newer one that isn't quite so.
That fresh brush might make the difference.
Yeah, I think so, because I'm getting close to points that are making me a little nervous with this brush.
Fair.
All right, let's see. What do I got? Oh, I have a 5/0. Okay.
There you go.
That's smaller. Okay, come here, you. Let's get some detail done.
All in the details. The devil is in the details.
Imaginal Disc says, mini painting challenge question. I've been painting some monsters and I want to put tattoos and or war paint on them. And is there any kind of wash or finish that can help, say, a blue tattoo or face paint read different from skin? Is there any way to make it obviously body art rather than blue skin tone or black or whatever? Ooh, deep thoughts.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm trying to figure out what the question is here.
Basically, if someone has drawn on, say, war paint onto the face, is there a wash or a finish that can go over that won't make it look like with a monster? Like if we were to take this guy and put streaks of blue on his face, is there a wash that would make sure that it doesn't now just look like he's a monster with blue streaks of skin?
Okay,
but continue to be war paint?
When you do tattoos like that, naturally what happens is obviously fresh tattoos have gorgeous vivid color to them, but as they age and get used, they become more faded. So a trick you can do with tattoos is to actually take the flesh tone that you're using, a very thin wash of that flesh tone, and put it over both the tattoo and the skin at the same time, and it'll sort of blur the lines together a little bit and make it look like it's not just painted on but has become a part of the skin.
Okay.
I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, we'll find out in a second. As soon as I look up from... There we go. Yep. Imagine this is flesh tone glaze of wash over tattoo. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I could see on a monster especially where they might already be a different color than you would normally see in reality. How do you make it so that, oh wait, this is an intentional bit of war paint or whatever, and not just, oh, this creature just happens to have a stripe there.
Yeah. My goodness, they made sure that this was lots of little raggedy bits of the skirt, of the hemline, I should say.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate though the 3D-ness of it
Mm.
is nice.
Oh, it's going to look great when done. It's just holy moly, making sure you're turning this at all angles to edge not just the
Yep.
surface, but the actual edges of the clothing bit.
And not paint a thigh. That's my
Well, the
continued
other the
goal.
other thing I'm realizing is when the shadows cast in funny angles, that's also sort of affecting the ability to edge this cleanly.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like,
I didn't
is
even think
that
about that.
part of the edge here, or is that a shadow? What is going on?
And as much as I love this color, this black pudding,
Mm-hmm.
it does suffer from the is that a spot that I've missed
Or is it a
or is
flash?
that just wet?
Yep.
That game I'm starting to have to play. Is that a spot I missed or is it just wet? Place your bets.
It's just the same old song. Again, with this being Twitch, that's all you get.
Yep.
Mind you, it's stringing along in my mind, no problem.
Nam says, it's a staple of storytelling that if you want to get involved with the criminal element, you head to the docks. Yeah, I think in a city, the docks have become shorthand for a lot of things. Definitely in many of the games that I've played, the Thieves Guild tends to hang out by the docks.
Well, that's because where most shipments come in.
Yeah.
Easier to disappear and fade into the crowd because they tend to be more crowded by nature during the day, etc., etc.
I'm just really trying to edge this skirt
Oh, I
without
know.
getting on. Yep.
I've had to pull out the brush and water trick a few times already. I fully understand that.
I'm also trying to not let myself get distracted by every once in a while. I'm like, oh, no, wait, that's not a wet spot. That is a spot that I missed. And be like, nope, I will come back to that.
Got it, yeah.
That is a later thing for me to worry about. It's a later problem.
Oh, what?
TTRP gives in chat. I could go for some pudding right now, right? Right?
Pudding. You know what makes surprisingly good pudding? And
What's
this I
that?
discovered because I can't do milk, dairy milk, cow milk, or dairy milk. So if you take avocado that has been frozen and you take your lovely hand blender and you mix that with like a tablespoon of honey and a tablespoon of cocoa powder and just mix those suckers together, it makes this really delicious like chocolate mousse texture type of dessert. Yeah. Avocado, who would have thought?
Yeah. That not only does it sound good, but Luke has had some dental work done recently and so is being very careful about eating softer foods and stuff that doesn't involve chewing for obvious reasons. And when you're limited to that kind of food, you suddenly realize how much you're missing out on.
Right?
So variety would be nice.
Yeah. So a little the more you know rainbow for you.
Yeah. Avocados, they're not just for putting on toast.
Yeah. Although they are really good on toast.
Oh, yeah.
I do not have toast with avocado. Ironically, I enjoy them thoroughly.
I haven't had it in a while. Avocados have definitely been one of those. If I'm going to the fruit and vegetable section, and they're a little expensive.
Yeah.
But cherries are starting to come back into season, and I am excited. Especially for those of us that live in Washington State, where cherries are a thing that we grow around here, and I'm excited.
Excellent. Oh, shoot.
Nope, that's skin. All right, that's skin. That's skin.
That skin you're in?
That's skin.
Yep, I just played that game.
Mm-hmm. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, 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 nope.
Yeah, we might dip into next week with this. I was hoping to finish it this week, but we might have some overlap.
Yeah, it's
This
fiddly. I haven't even started on the arm wraps.
This is such a fiddly section. But it happens.
Yep. Like we said, there's no hurry.
No. However, I will say we are going to be... Did we put this in Discord yet? What we're going to be doing after this?
I know we've talked about the big summer dragon.
Right. So I don't think we mentioned...
And that I've put in there. I don't think I've
yeah.
put in what's next. I'll have to double check.
Yeah, it's the Oni paint night kit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I just sent you the list this morning with the paints and everything.
Okay.
Because you don't necessarily have to get the paint kit itself. You can get the Oni Mini. It's the female Oni Mini from D&D Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures. And then grab paints to paint along with us. But obviously we'll be using the paints that are in the paint kit. So the list I sent you, Lauren, has the paints with their numbers. Their code numbers too. So if people want to get those particular paints to paint along, they'd be able to.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, but chances are if we don't finish this today, we'll probably work on this for a little bit to wrap it up and then jump into painting the Oni.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, just want to make sure it's mentioned for anyone who wants to paint along with us.
Oh, yes, Turducken McNugget Rainier cherries are the best, right?
I'm sorry, say that name again?
Rainier cherries.
No.
Oh.
The handle.
Turducken McNugget.
I love it.
It's a great name, right?
That's amazing.
That's an awesome name, saying an awesome thing. Yeah, Rainier cherries are specifically Mount Rainier, which is the big volcano over here, which is funny because so when I moved out to the Pacific Northwest, this place is pretty darn awesome. We don't get most of the bad inclement weather. We don't get hurricanes. We don't get tornadoes. We don't really get mudslides. We don't get blizzards. We don't get flooding. There's a lot of things that we just don't normally get.
Yeah.
But someday Mount Rainier, which is a volcano, is going to explode. So that's the trade-off. At some point, I will have to flee. I mean, geologically soon, I should say. It is geologically primed to explode very soon. And by very soon, sometime in like the next 1,000 years or so. So yes, at some point, I will need to flee. But until that moment, Mount Rainier and the surrounding area is a wonderful place for cherries, to grow cherries. And they come in not just the standard red, but they do that orange, like yellowy red.
Yeah.
I forgot what those are called. They're called something different.
Bing?
Maybe. They're more expensive. They're harder to get, but oof, they're so good. So yeah, as cherry season comes along, I get very excited because they become very affordable around here, which I have never lived in an area where cherries have been so affordable, especially in season. So every year it's just like,
Nice.
yes, it's cherry time.
I
I
mean,
have way
that's
too
like
many cherries.
peaches out here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's some. There's there's a farm near me. They grow their own peaches. The peaches are like the trees are decades, generations old type of thing.
Yeah,
They're good
that's
peaches.
awesome.
They are truly amazing peaches. And everyone gets excited when you see the peaches on the farm stand because it's like, oh, their peaches are in.
Yeah.
So yeah, big fan of those. Excuse me, pardon me while I poke at you. Ah,
Oh, TTRP gifts. I really hope so. They said, I'm sure in 1,000 years we'll be living in the sky like the Jetsons. I would love that.
bum,
I would love it to happen
ba-dum.
sooner before the mountain explodes.
Right? Well, that's like where I am. The fault line's suddenly active. I mean, I knew out here
Mm-hmm.
there was a fault line and what have you, but there was a 2.9 this morning.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't hear
2.9
about
this
that.
morning at like near 4 o'clock in the morning. I woke up. I couldn't figure out why I woke up. The cats were still sleeping next to me. Couldn't calm myself because I woke up like startled feeling. I think what happened is
Mm-hmm.
I was in a light enough sleep. My body registered, hey, we're shaking. Um, but my brain didn't know what went on until later on this morning when I was catching up on the news. And it's like, oh, 2.9 earthquake experienced this morning at
Oh.
3:15, 3:50 a.m. Like that, okay, that'll do it,
Now you know. Now you know why you woke up.
right? I'm such a light sleeper, it's ridiculous. A
Well, and
moth
also
sneezes and wakes me up.
a moth sneezes in Bangladesh, and
Yep. But who did
on the
that? Bless
side
you.
of America, all of a sudden V wakes up.
Yep.
Uh, well, and I know people who are in more active earthquake areas will be like 2.9,
That's
but it's all
nothing.
relative, right? It's a 2.9 by you
Right.
is still very weird,
It's
and nobody's
weird.
really prepared for it.
Right. It's definitely it's slightly unnerving, don't get me wrong. And again, remember, like, this is why I won't make fun of people who are like, we can't drive because it's snowing and it's like in the south because you don't
Yeah,
have the infrastructure for it.
exactly.
Like, my house wasn't built for earthquakes, and there are a couple of cracks now showing up because of them. So, yay!
Oof.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm about as painted up on this fellow as I can be without someone coming up and be like, well, let me look at your mini and like turning it upside down and looking at all the wee bits I can't reach.
I've still got a wrap to do. I'm done with the
Yeah.
skirt and one. I'm finishing up one arm wrap right now.
Okay, cool.
Because
Yeah, like
yeah, I
there's a couple
was.
little like straggly bits I need to get, but I'm not going to make myself get really fussy with trying to get way, way up and underneath because my brush physically can't reach.
Ah,
So,
see, I think that was the difference. Is I got fussy.
you got fussy.
I got fussy underneath there. It's just like, but I will know.
Getting fussy with it. Na 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 na. Hi. Yes, hello. Tap tap. Come on. You gonna come
Oh,
up?
have we gotten our weekly visit by cats?
I mean, we're getting Rory right now. She was doing pretty well. She was sitting on the edge of my desk and just kind of observing it all. And now suddenly she's like, okay, mama, mama, pay attention to me, mama.
You said you were done with the thing you were working on, and thus it is
Hi,
time to pay
girl.
attention to me.
You are done. Time for my fun, mama. Hello, darling.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna let that dry. Or is it a miss spot? That's a miss spot. Beg your
Sure, Duck
pardon.
and McNugget said the Pacific Northwest is due for a mega quake as well. I'm more worried about that than Rainier going. To be honest, I'm not. I'm not really that worried about either. Mostly because once again, they're geologically ready to go, which is still like thousands of years.
Yeah.
It's also one of those things like I have lived in a lot of places that have things like hurricanes. And I've lived where there's tornadoes. I've lived where there's blizzards.
Right.
Lived where there's a lot of things that you have to be prepared for on a yearly basis. there's something very comforting about the idea that when the big local natural disaster happens around here, I'm just packing up my stuff and leaving. Like,
So
I know
yeah.
it's, yeah, like, there's something weirdly nice about that. I don't have to really be prepared to do much except go away. And I know it'll be like a panicked thing. I know it won't be easy. I know
Right.
there will be problems. I'm not saying that it'll be just, just get in the car and go on vacation. But like, there's something like I don't have to have the earthquake kit in my
Mm-hmm.
car. I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
worry about can my car get into four-wheel drive so that I can get through the snow. I don't have to have snow tires. I don't have to worry about when when it's the summer and the tornadoes start coming through, and when do I hear the tornado sirens? Like,
Mm.
I'll just be here until it's time to not be here.
I'll be here until it's like, nope, gotta go.
Yep, until all of a sudden it's like, what's that smell?
I'm leaving.
Mhm. Now we have, speaking of smell though, we have been getting a lot of the smoke from the
Oh
fires
yeah,
from
that's
Canada the
happening.
last couple of years. And that's not nearly on the same scale as some of the stuff we've been talking about, but the air
Right.
quality around here
Right.
during the summer can get real bad. So there has been that to contend with.
Oh, for sure. I mean, gosh, I experienced that for the first time ever when we were getting smoke from Canada on the eastern side of things
Yeah, last
coming our
year
way.
you got
That
it real
was.
bad.
Remember that day where I called in to a meeting and it looked like I was in like a sepia tone.
Yep.
Um, what's the word I'm looking for?
You like in an
Filter,
old
filter,
film.
filter, filter.
Yeah.
Looked like I had a sepia tone filter on. Nope,
Yep.
that was just the natural light. That was the most unnerving day.
Yeah, there
Um,
were several years of summers
right?
of that. We've been lucky the last couple of summers here in the Pacific Northwest where unfortunately they're saying we're kind of it's going to happen again,
Mm,
which I'm not looking forward to.
yeah. How are you doing with your wraps and stuff?
I'm almost done.
Okay.
I had to actually put a little bit more black pudding on my plate.
Oopsies. All right. I'm going to start edging around with leather brown on the ropes
Okay,
while you do
I'll
that
be there
because
shortly.
that's just it. But
Yep, Void TV, we are live.
live.
It's pretty rare that we're
Pre-recording.
pre-recorded.
Yeah, I think we've only done that 3 times, I want to say.
Yeah, two or three times. It's not like Idle Insights and where
Right.
it often makes sense to have it pre-recorded just because of
Schedules and time
guests
zones.
and their schedules.
Yeah.
So
Although I do need to think about if you and I are both doing PAX Unplugged this year, what the pre-record and air episode will be for that if we want to do that again.
yeah, we'll look at it. I know one of the reasons that we did that recently was it last year or 2 years ago? I don't
I want to
remember.
say it was before we did it. Maybe it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I do. I don't remember exactly, but I do remember one of the reasons was because it was going to be like this summer there were going to be several weeks in a
Yeah,
row in where we
without the
were going to
show.
miss.
Yep, that's what it was. Yep.
Because like a week here and a week there, not a big deal. But
It was
for
when Thanksgiving and PAX Unplugged were back to back.
that's right.
That's why we did it.
That's right. So yeah, we'll have to look at when Turkey Day is
I
and
think we have
make
breathing
some
room because it's slightly later this year in December. It's December 5th, I think.
PAX or Turkey Day.
PAX. No, PAX,
Okay.
PAX, 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 PAX. Turkey Day is its usual third Thursday in November.
I'm still focused on Gen Con, so I haven't gotten into the fall yet. I said one con at a time.
Summer.
Yeah. Oh, oh. Gen Con is enough.
Right?
The solar bear once we've had a kitty sighting once. The fact that we've gotten almost an hour into the show and V hasn't been completely accosted
Surprising.
is actually kind of yeah.
That's rare.
Okay, so you said leather brown for the ropes.
Yep. All the rope work. I am still tickled that Imaginal just figured out my little tongue-in-cheek Easter egg for this mini.
Treason One asks, "Are these models for any specific campaign?" In this case, this is just a fun creature that we had a mini to.
And it appears in the game, right?
It appears in the game. Yeah, I think we've talked about this before. A lot of the time, the minis that we pick are the reasons behind them are they're a fun mini to paint on stream.
Yep.
They're a mini that we have access to paint on stream.
Yep.
They appear somewhere in Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. I think those are the three main reasons.
Yeah, that's pretty much the impetus.
Because there are definitely minis that are would be lovely, but they're either not in the game or we don't have access to them, or they would just not be very fun to paint on stream.
Yeah.
But that's one of the reasons we're excited about the Adult Dragon this summer. We're going to take advantage of the fact that there's a couple of weeks in where the show has to be off because of holidays and castles and all sorts of stuff. And that's the perfect time to be like, okay, homework.
Yeah.
Spend a couple of hours painting the rest of this entire creature this color.
Yep. Pretty much. I mean, I know one people keep asking us to do is the gelatinous cube. I'm going to tell you this right now.
Yeah.
It's a boring one to paint for a live stream. Because it's this six-sided, flattish surface, and it's really just doing a bunch of washes, and you have to wait for each wash to dry before you can do another layer. WizKids' YouTube channel has the tutorial I created for them for a gelatinous cube. If you really want to know how to paint a gelatinous cube, go over to their YouTube channel, check out in their video selection, there is a tutorial for a gelatinous cube in there. But that's definitely one of those minis where it's not as engaging of a piece to interact with for a full 2 hours for a live stream. Because it's extremely monotonous.
Which can be really nice to paint just because that can be kind of relaxing. But yeah, as far as a stream goes where you want to be able to have different things going on.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, that's also why the dragon's going to be fun for the summer, because
for sure.
we can spend time during the episode doing the more engaging stuff and then homework.
Portfolio assignment.
There you go. Treason One asks, "Are you using acrylic paint or model enamel?" Yep, these are acrylics.
It's acrylic, yeah.
I don't have the thing nearby.
We're
using Vallejo and the prismatic paint set from WizKids.
Yep. Model enamel is cool and everything, but that's not as an accessible... I'm sorry, I just got completely distracted by someone's barbecue because it smells really good.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's fair. That's
my
totally
just
fair.
Grumbled smelling that. Model enamel paints are great and wonderful, but they tend to be harder to find depending on where you live. So the appeal of using the Vallejo paints, especially, is because it's internationally accessible, et cetera, and you can find comparable paints more easily.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And they're relatively inexpensive. If you go to our Discord, discord.gg/idlechampions, we actually haven't talked about this in a little while, so if you go to our Discord, we have a channel specifically for Paint and Slay where I post all of the stuff you will need for each of the minis, and they're pinned in there so you can easily find them. And one of the first pins that's in there is also, here's basic supplies. Here's some basic brushes and the basic paint set that will kind of get you through almost all of our minis. There's a couple minis that we do some extra special things, but the vast majority of our minis, you can just have the basic paint supplies. And those we tried our best. We did an excellent job of finding sets and paints that are not going to break people's banks.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about the painting is really the consistent thing you have to spend money on is the minis. Like that first set of Vallejo paints that are the recommended ones that we put out there.
Mm-hmm.
I still use that all the time.
Oh,
I still have that. These prismatic paints are newer, and you're like, oh, but this is a tiny little bottle. It's a tiny, tiny little. There's so much. There's so much paint. They last for a very, 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 very long time. Yep. And the brush is the same way. If you take care of them, you don't really have to be buying new brushes all the time. It's really just the mini. But you know, we are aware this is a hobby that, depending on how much you want to spend and what your disposable income is, can get expensive very fast.
Yeah, my whole approach when doing painting streams is I like to try and keep things at beginning to intermediate level for accessibility purposes, because while there may be people who have been with us in viewing for years now and have, you know, built up their skills and whatever, that's fantastic. I never know if someone new is going to come in. I want to make sure mini painting comes across as something really anyone can give a try.
Yeah.
And not make it seem like something that is inundating and intimidating and not for everyone. There's different levels of mini painting that can be done by anyone. Because I'll tell you, the mini I was painting this past weekend, that was at least 25 hours worth of work.
Oof.
Yeah. With a bunch of different techniques that I had to, not had to, but I wanted to incorporate into it to get the final result. But it wouldn't be good to stream because of all the various different things I had to do with it.
Yeah, bringing in the idea of streaming a thing, it's definitely an interesting thing to think about just in general. Like, there are things that sound like they could be a ton of fun to do, but streaming isn't, to make a stream actually entertaining doesn't necessarily mean just doing the thing that you like doing. Yeah. There's slightly more, but if you want to have a really entertaining stream, there is absolutely nothing wrong with, hey, I'm going to turn on a camera and put on some music and paint for a couple hours. And if you want to watch along, and maybe I'll interact with the chat and maybe not, but that's about it. Like, that's super cool. And plenty of people do that. But kind of the same way, if you're doing a D&D stream, there are things to consider that you don't necessarily have to consider when you're doing just a home game. Same thing with painting minis and all this other fun stuff. It's like, okay, what actually makes sense? What is going to be entertaining to watch? Yeah. What's going to have some kind of connection to Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, as we are a stream on the Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms C&E Twitch channel. So I saw someone talking about Warhammer. Where was that? Yeah, Loopy 79. At least it isn't Warhammer 40K. There are people who are it's so impressive to see the armies that they have created. Like, more power to Warhammer folks who are just like, look at my army.
Though that's definitely an investment hobby, because those minis aren't cheap.
Oh yeah. And I definitely know people who love painting those minis and don't really play the game.
They're beautiful minis, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
The sculpts are fantastic, and you know, there have been a couple I've had my eye on. I'm like, oh, that would be really cool to get and just paint to have for the sake of painting.
Yep.
But
my very first mini I ever painted. Oh, it's over there now. I changed things around.
Moved it.
Yeah, I moved it. Where is it? My 4th edition human cleric, the mini, is actually a Warhammer mini. Don't ask me who it actually is. I don't. So
Yeah.
it's a human in raiments holding a book in one hand and a hammer in the other, and that basically matched up
With your
almost
concept.
exactly to the cleric that I was playing, and
Perfect.
I didn't care that it wasn't specifically a D&D mini. I'm like, hey, this works.
Yeah.
It was also pewter.
Yeah.
I think it's pewter.
Yeah.
It is
They're
a
metal
metal
minis.
of
Yeah.
some kind. It's heavy.
Yeah.
I could bludgeon someone with my cleric.
Funny. You can do harm with the cleric. Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Too funny.
And clerics aren't just for healing.
Nope.
Just ask Orkira.
Yeah, I have a cleric that I played with my buddies, and she's a healing tank.
Yeah.
The running joke with her, she's got some heft to her, and she can also do some healing work.
Yep, that's the joy of clerics. Right? You can definitely pick a subclass that can do almost anything.
All the things.
I mean, light cleric. I can heal and cast fireball.
You just keep going. Just keep doing it.
I get both healing and fireball? Wait, what? I know a lot of people playing Baldur's Gate 3 who have switched Shadowheart over to a light cleric for many reasons, but that being one of the big ones of like, wait a second. She can cast fireball if I do this? Yeah. Who doesn't love a good fireball?
Fireball.
Well, the people getting fireball don't love it, but other than that.
Uh-huh.
Orkira isn't evil now. She has a glitch skin that is out that is a lawful evil, but that is a glitch skin and basically a multiverse kind of different version of her. The original version of her is chaotic good and will always be chaotic good. It's just the Aarakocra version of her from a different universe, from a different time and place. And she's a little evil.
Yeah.
You know that Fallout song that they use to advertise Fallout 4? I don't want to set the world on fire.
I don't want to set the world on fire. Yep. My God, that song is sung in my house almost on a daily basis.
It's a good song.
It is. It is. It's just become a fun running joke with myself and my kiddos.
Orkira's answer to that is, but why not?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But what if I could?
But what if you wanted to? May I offer options?
Right.
If you did want to set the world on fire.
I gotta love it. I'm noticing the rope around the upper torso has some interesting meld points going on.
Yeah.
With the skull, so...
This whole mini has interesting meld points going on.
Just do the best you can if you realize, wait a minute, I've kind of lost track where the rope is supposed to be and where the flesh begins. If you have to just sort of draw a line...
Yeah.
Just do it.
Treason 1, there are no questions. Feel free to ask any question because, listen, there's always new people coming on in. Yeah. And we're always happy to answer even questions that you think might be simple questions. For example, a C&E challenge coin, if we're talking about specifically the ones that are at the bottom of the Twitch stream, which I could see why people would ask about it because we don't use them very often. They're basically it's the exact same thing as the I've now lost the name of it. When you're watching a Twitch stream and you earn points.
Twitch drop? No.
Yeah, well, they're not drops. They're just what we
bits?
Call not bits because they're free. Someone in chat is going to remind me what they're called. We've just renamed them, and we have the fun little symbol for it, but it's the exact same as what you get in any
Cheers?
Twitch channel. Not a cheer.
No?
I love that you're coming up with all of the fun names.
I'm like, what? I'm trying to
I'm
think.
totally forgetting what they're called. They're the thing that you spend to like highlight my message and unlock a random emote and stuff like that. Yeah, the McTribble's got it. The Twitch viewer reward currency. So it's the exact same thing that you get with all of the other streams. We've just streams can rename them to something, and so that's what we've named ours. And yeah, you can spend that. You just get that automatically for watching streams, and you can spend those on highlighting a specific post that you want to stand out. You can use those if you are not a subscriber but would like access to one of the emotes that we have for a moment. You can spend that, and by spend I mean it's free. There's no money involved. It's just stuff that you earn. Yeah, redeem. That's probably a better word for it. To unlock one of the emotes for a little while. So if you want to use one of our emotes, it's stuff like that. It's just for fun. Yeah. It's just funsy. And we keep trying to come up with things to do with them because we've been C&E has been streaming for quite a while now, several years. And so we've got folks in our community, me included, who've been watching our streams for a couple of years now. And we have a lot of streams on who have collected a fair number of them. Channel points.
I have 32,000 plus.
Yadran, thank you. Channel points. That's what they're called if you don't rename them. Yeah, I currently have 213,000. Well, you know, I've been doing this for a while, and it's kind of my job.
I fully know why you have that many. It's just so.
And
like just looking and realizing, wow.
Mm-hmm. And I know that there are folks. There's probably folks in chat right now who have way more than me. I know Garwar has some ridiculous number.
Must have a ridiculous amount. Yeah. Garwar has, I'm sure.
Yeah, Garwar has many. So we keep trying to come up with fun things to do with them. And we've done some fun things in the past, but it's been hard to come up with things. It's been surprisingly hard. Not because we can't come up with fun ideas, but not everything we want to do are things that are supported by the channel points. So yeah.
Getting concept and execution to line up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Turducken McNugget. Light Cleric is great. The Channel Divinity AoE, warding Flare as a reaction, so much good stuff. And then Baldur's Gate 3, stack Radiant Orb gear to be really OP. Yeah, that's the other thing about the Light Cleric is it's one of the few clerics that get a reaction. Because that's not normally a thing that clerics have access. Not access to. That's not normal. That's not a thing that a lot of clerics have, because not a lot of the spells that clerics have access to are reactions, and light clerics are one of the few that get a thing that is a reaction, and warding flare is essentially a reaction in where if you see someone get hit with an attack, you can use your reaction to go no. Yeah. And they have to reroll the attack. It basically gives disadvantage on the attack. It's real cool. When I moved Orkira away from being a light cleric to being a Phoenix cleric, there were a couple things that I missed out on, and warding flare was one of them. But you know,
it happens.
Needs must.
Yep.
The only downside of warding flare is at higher levels, it isn't quite as effective.
Oh, interesting.
Mostly because at higher levels, a lot of the creatures that are attacking you have a bonus to their attack that's high enough that even with disadvantage, they still hit. But it's still fun.
Well, as long as it's still fun.
It is still fun because, yeah, like I said, as a cleric, you don't get reactions that often. So being able to be like, no,
Nuh-uh.
well, okay, fine.
No, 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 no. All right, I still have a bit to go around the neck.
Yeah, I'm still working on a boot. Mm.
Oh wait, that's right. We had this as a split episode, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
We also
So
missed a week, and
yeah. So this
our
is
schedule got a little
yeah. So really,
cocked.
we are kind of looking at 3 whole episodes as I initially had thought we need. So okay,
Yeah,
that off the mark.
we're all good.
It's all good in the neighborhood.
Also, I just noticed Star Chaser 43,
Hmm?
1,586,293. Doesn't Garwar still have the record? Probably. Like I said, there are a couple people who have a large amount.
Wow, my hands cramping. All right, I'm gonna set this mini down and let my hands relax because they're seizing up on each other.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot of fiddly work today.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been painting this other mini each day a little bit, so my hands have been in overdrive. Luckily, that one's done. I just have to seal it up with
Nice.
varnish, and it'll be good. It's so cool.
I am
See,
excited
cat
for
ear?
when you can show it off.
Yeah. Me too. It'll be fun. It'll be so fun. Yeah, see?
Stretch. Everybody stretch.
Jazz
Everybody
hands.
take a second to stretch.
Jazz hand time. Jazz hand finger wiggle. Feels so good. But this dude is coming together quite nicely. I'm happy with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm liking it. I think what we'll do is we'll go back to the wrap because that should have enough time to have dried, and we'll do some dry brushing on it so you can see the color that I want to bring into this.
Oh.
I don't know why. Every single time I look at this, with the way his mouth is agape, I just think like, da, 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 da.
There's definitely opera going on. There's 100%. Operatic D&D right there. This is ignore the large hammer and the loincloth.
Right.
This is a bard.
Right. I could still be a bard. Like, this is for his drum. Boom. It's for his timpani.
That's true. There you go. That's a good point.
Y'all, this barbecue next door or whoever is doing this, it smells so good.
Oh no.
I want to cry. It smells so yummy.
Oh no. I mean, maybe it's just time to go make a new friend.
See, you're gonna on the same path.
Go on over with, a side.
Do I have a side?
So I've been smelling your delicious barbecue, and I just thought you might really like some homemade potato salad. I don't know why. I just thought of bringing over some potato salad.
Thought I'd say hello for reasons.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're going to go back and we're going to use Hex Lichen. And we're going to actually use this for the dry brushing on the wraps and the loincloth, just to give it a really cool, fun pop of color. Come here, because if you head up this camera, I'm going to be mad.
Hi, kitty. Everybody in chat, say hi to the kitty.
This is Rory. For those of you who are new, this is Rory. She is my lovely little Tabaco, which means she looks like a tiger with a white belly.
And ignore the done with it face. This is a happy cat.
She just has catitude.
Resting cat face.
She's my teenage daughter. She's literally my little teenage daughter. Right? You think you're gonna be good?
No.
Can I put you down?
No.
Bye. There we go.
Do not discard me, mother.
She wants.
I need to be. I need the attention.
I must be the star of the show.
People must appreciate me for the awesome that I am. Mm-hmm. All right, we are dry brushing, you said?
Yep, dry brushing.
Okay. Just the skirt or everywhere we did the
Everywhere
black
we
pudding?
did the black pudding, yeah.
Awesome.
Because in my head, I thought this would be a cool way to kind of give him like a dark leather hide for maybe like a magical animal or something. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, no. Just because I can't hold you doesn't mean you get to act like a brat.
You put me down and ignored me, Mother, and thus I can do what I want.
And that's exactly what she's doing right now to me. Yep.
Yep. Enrique Fantastic asks a question that I know the answer to, but I know a lot of people do not. Is she polydactyl?
No, Hemingway is. I'll have to see.
So V has multiple cats.
Yeah.
All of whom think that they are the star of the show, and frankly, they are.
Well, no, Cotton, he's a rare sighting. Cotton is happy just kind of chilling out and listening to the show. He's a long-time listener, rare-time guest. Let's put it that way for Cotton.
Yes, that one is not pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl.
That one is not a dinosaur.
No. She sounds like one. She sounds like a pterodactyl, but she is not polydactyl. How's that?
There you go. But the other one that I'm sure we will see at some point, because we almost always do.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure if
they
I just call
are.
His name. Hemi!
Well, now we'll definitely see them.
Hembos? Bubba? Let's see. We'll see if he makes an appearance. An appearance.
An appearance.
An appearance. Yeah, this is looking cool, though, with that purple on top.
Imaginal Disc wants to know, are there official Idol Champions original character minis?
No.
Not from us. Mostly because we don't do physical stuff, because we are a digital company. And physical stuff is hard. But what we do use is we use the WizKids Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures, because they do official D&D minis.
And we've kit bashed some of those minis to look similar to Champions.
Yep.
That's kind of the closest we get to it.
Well, and I gotta imagine that there might not be minis that are ones to paint, but we've got Champions in our game that are characters from lore, Dritz, things like that. So I can honestly say you probably can find.
Yeah, like there's a Durlaxle mini and things like that.
Yeah.
There. Yeah.
But those are official D&D minis.
Yeah, which helps.
Exactly. But no, we do not have official minis because physical stuff is hard.
Patent licensing clearance.
all the things, all the reasons physical stuff is hard. And mostly just we are a digital games company. So we're just not set up to do physical things. That's why the few times that we've given away physical stuff, like we've done t-shirts and dice and things, those are all giveaways, and those are all very limited edition things.
Yep. Exactly. Let me.
And that is 50% because physical things are hard, and 50% that's just not the license that we have.
Yep. Oh, the angles on this guy.
Look at all that purple. I
like it. It gives us a subtle pop of color.
Absolutely.
And still keeping it on brand for a Cyclops.
Thanks for coming on by, Oh Snap Dead. Have a wonderful weekend.
Enjoy.
Catching up with chat here. Just I'm catching up with chat, and a lot of folks in chat are happy about the Catcopolis, as Solar Bear says, or Treason One. The cat would think these models are perfect. All the cat puns.
The puns.
Star Chaser 43. Is it true that in theory cats stack multiplicatively, but no one has done it successfully? Probably.
Like on top of each other? 'Cause, 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 'cause,
Ah.
I mean, they curl up on pot like up on top of each other. Like you'll have Cotton, then Hemingway curls up on Cotton, and then Rory curls up on Hemingway. That has happened here.
There you go. They have stacked themselves.
Yeah.
I need to walk away for just a second
Okay.
and take care of something. I will be right back.
Go for it. Okay. So I can get this. So you can see the difference here, everyone. This is what it looks like now with the hex lichen on top, and what it looks like with just the black pudding on those wraps. It helps give more depth to the fabric, which I'm really happy about. I'm liking it. And again, don't get too fussy with underneath because ankles are weird, on this sculpt. I'm doing what I can to get the underside, but there really is only so much motion you have with your brushes. So don't feel like you have to go in and get every last angle with the hex lichen. You actually don't need to. We're dry brushing it. All right, happy with the wrap, or the loincloth, I should say. Now I'm going to move on to the wraps. Same thing, use that hex lichen. Come on. Oh dear. If you stick a d20 correctly on a cat, it always lands because the cats flip over when they fall. Is that the joke there? Something to keep in mind in theory. I'm going to do a cat roll. Yeah, imaginal disc. Black or a dark blue, kind of like what black pudding is, really is a good way to start basing for a purple color. Very rarely do I start out with purple itself as its base color, because you can kind of add some really cool undertones and depth to what you want to translate as purple when the time comes. So yeah. We are not trying the D20 theory on my cat, so let me make sure that's clear. I like the idea. I'm not going to make it happen. Hi, little girl, you're back. Oh, she's hungry. That's what she's doing. Hi, you going to creep up? You going to creep up again? Pardon me while I get quiet. I'm concentrating. I don't want to get this on the flesh. Yeah, but you're not paying the vet bills there, so that is a problem. Hi, and she just reappeared. Hello. What are you doing? What are we doing here, girlie? Don't hit the camera, please. All right, so for those who are enjoying the weekend soon, and because this barbecue, I'm not kidding, smells so dang good, what is your go-to barbecue main dish or side dish? Because Lauren mentioned the potato salad, but what else do you like to see at your barbecues? I'm always a fan of pasta salad. I'll put that out there right now. Pasta salad, and I am very happy. In fact, I made pasta salad for myself for dinner tonight. Oh, really happy with how that wrap looks. Focus. There we go. Oh. Okay, imagine this. I may have to try this. Marinate wings in citrus-based marinade. Dry. Grill wings. Profit. Might try that this weekend. Potato salad fan for Enrique. Totally cool. Do some grilling myself on Sunday, so imagine I might, because I have a chicken, I was gonna, not the whole chicken meat. So that sounds quite doable. Is it just Just a citrus-based marinade. Okay. Might do a lemon and garlic then. 'Cause that sounds kind of yummy. German potato salad. Oh, medley rose. I haven't had that in ages. I had a neighbor who made that. And it was like her signature dish. Let me tell you,
Thank
those
you
barbecues.
for that.
Yeah, no problem. We're talking about favorite barbecue dishes. Yes, because I'm like I said to the chat, like this, it smells so good right now.
The barbecue is.
I got barbecue on the brain. It's too strong.
I mean, that's fair. It's hard to ignore, right?
Yeah, especially when it's like around that dinner time window.
Yeah.
For where I am, yeah, forget it.
Favorite barbecue. I don't know if I have a favorite, but I definitely am a fan of just kind of the basics: hamburgers, hot dogs. Just give me a really good grilled hamburger. So good.
That is true. When a hamburger is done well. Oh yeah, sorry, Rough Rider. We don't have any more of those WizKids discount codes for the mini command, so that is not gonna work for you.
But the next time we do, we will definitely add that to, we'll definitely put that command back on the list.
Yeah.
Oh, my headset got all twisted around.
Oh, shoot.
Okay. Today has just been...
Hawk.
Oh,
Lightning Hawk says my mom always... Oh, my mom always made a fruit salad to have as a dessert. Okay, so fruit salad. Did anyone's mother make ambrosia salad?
Oh, yeah.
And what went into that ambrosia salad? Like, what did it end up looking like? Because that's the trick question I've discovered with ambrosia salad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody's got a different thing. Okay, so from where I grew up in Buffalo, ambrosia salad was essentially whipped cream, mandarin oranges, and a bunch of other little things. But it was a dessert. It was not a salad.
Yeah.
It was
definitely a dessert.
It was a whipped cream and mandarin oranges were the big thing.
What color was it?
Like a white. White with bits of the fruit and stuff in it.
So
pineapple, yes, Rough Rider. Pineapple.
My grandmother's ambrosia recipe has things like pineapple, mandarin oranges, maraschino cherries, marshmallows.
Yep.
And the whipped cream. But the Cool Whip rather, but it's pink. And it also has rice in it.
Oh, because of the maraschino cherries, there's probably a lot of
you use the juice to create a sauce.
Yeah.
And then you mix it up with a sauce, and then you add in the whipped cream, and the thing just comes out like bright pink as a result.
I have seen that. Yeah. I've seen that version of the ambrosia salad. We did have maraschino cherries in ours, but it wasn't the juice that was also added to make everything all the pink kinds of stuff. But yeah, it was the pineapple, marshmallows, the whipped cream. I know people who put coconut in it.
Oh yeah, that's why it's I want to see what's out there because there's so many different versions.
Oh yeah, and it's one of those foods from the 70s that they called a salad, but it's not really a salad. Like Jell-O salad. It's not really a salad. Have you ever seen Bill B. Dylan Hollis on TikTok?
Maybe.
He's also on YouTube. So he's he does food recipes.
Okay.
But what he
specializes...
This the
historical recipes guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so he pulls stuff out from I've seen him do stuff from cookbooks from like the 1800s all the way through. And that period of time in this, especially the early 70s
got creative.
And where, Jell-O ended up in everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like the savory Jell-O recipes? Nope.
Yeah, all of those, hey, you can put anything you want in Jell-O. No, you can't. But
you really
people try.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
people tried real hard.
Right? Oh, God. Nightmares. Oh my god, the nightmares of that.
But he is a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
If you are on
Oh, yeah.
TikTok, be Dylan Hollis. Luke is the TikTok person in our family, and so every couple of days I'll come on over and he'll save a bunch of stuff for me, and we'll just go through the stuff he's saved.
There you go.
And if he's come out with a new TikTok, I'm just like, all right, here we go, let's watch.
All right, we're gonna go back to leather brown. We're gonna dry brush the boots.
Okay.
But that the nice thing about that is because we already have the ropes as leather brown, any slippage, it's all good. It's all good. I just wanted to make sure that was dry before we start dry brushing around what was just painted.
Oh yeah. Totally makes sense.
Yeah. But we'll definitely finish this up next week. This has still got a ways to go.
Yeah, and definitely I would not have wanted to rush through.
No.
Or go, I shouldn't say rush, because we never really rush.
No.
But I wouldn't have wanted to go faster with any of the stuff that we've been doing.
Agreed.
Also, I like that I'm looking over and I missed enough of the chat that I see that chat has started talking about the classics of what exactly is a fruit and what exactly is a vegetable. and that whole discussion.
Right? That is definitely... That's a conversation keeper for, like, many a party.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how people have some very vehement opinions for certain foods.
I think that's also how Jell-O got away with saying how much stuff you could put in Jell-O, because they could just argue, well, but this is actually a fruit.
Right?
It's like, no, marshmallows are not a fruit. Listen, marshmallows are great. Don't get me wrong. They're lovely. They're not a fruit. Stop that. Stop saying that.
Real marshmallow plants, it's a root. But candy marshmallows, no, definitely not fruit. Ooh.
Well, and even the original marshmallow, so if you take the marshmallow plant and what people used to do with it, they were a hard candy.
Yeah.
And they were more like a lozenge, but they were never a healthy thing. It was it was like a throat lozenge kind of thing. And then the more modern version just adds all the sugar and makes it a delectable treat, but still not a fruit.
Well, marshmallow root's great for your throat because it numbs your throat when you have a sore throat.
Yeah.
So there's like teas that have marshmallow root in it.
Now, that does not mean that you can eat marshmallows and get the same effect.
No.
That is still completely different.
Marshmallow root. Not marshmallows roast for s'mores marshmallows.
Nope. It's a different kind of thing.
Yeah.
The things you learn when you play a D&D character long enough that you suddenly need to learn about some of the weird quirks that have cropped up, like, oh, I guess I should know more about marshmallows if Orkira is going to be so into them.
Yeah. All right, I'm thinking let's go around and dot these coins with the gunmetal.
Okay.
Considering the time we have left, and we have Q&A after us, right?
Yep, community Q&A is after us. And then it is the end of our broadcast day. And we can all go back to fighting Vecna. I mean, that's one of the things I'm going to do.
There it is. Fight the Vecna. All right. So there's little bands. I actually didn't bother painting those with the leather brown, but there's little bands that go around the ropes, and then there's coins that are dangling off this necklace wrap that you want to paint with gunmetal.
All right. Yeah, I think I ended up still painting those with the leather brown as I was going around, but I figured we were going to do something else with them.
Yeah. Honestly, there wasn't a wrong way to go about approaching those, so gunmetal does a pretty good job of just popping in and doing its thing.
Yeah. It's another very, very neat color.
Yeah.
Vaginal disc. Remember, according to biology, everything you think is a fruit isn't, and fish don't exist.
What?
Uh, they're not wrong, but yeah, when you start getting into like, you know how a moment ago we were talking about how Jello, we'll say this is technically whatever.
Yeah.
When you get into weird bits of science,
Okay.
yeah, I think vegetables are actually the thing that don't actually exist, that everything is either a root, it's classified as like a root or a tuber or
Right.
something else, and that vegetables were an invention by...
Was it Kellogg?
Just saw a thing about this.
I always blame Kellogg for the weird health crazes.
Kellogg is the reason why a lot of Americans, especially of my age, think that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It isn't.
No.
But that 100% was a thing that Kellogg did.
Mm-hmm. Kellogg had way too much time on his hands.
Yep, and a lot of money, and so there you go. But yeah, once you start getting into like scientific definitions of things,
oh yeah,
life gets weird.
That it do.
But yeah, I just saw a thing about this. Dilettante FTW says tomatoes are considered vegetables to avoid tariffs on fruit. It was literally legislated that way on purpose. Yeah.
Cool. I didn't know that. I like that factoid.
Uh-huh. Yep, and Plum Bob, a vegetable is more of a culinary term, definitely not a botanical one. Oh, I've lost track of what coin I was on because I got distracted by fish. Oh, there we go. Food is weird, but that's one of the reasons why I love it so much. Food is weird and fun and ridiculous.
That's why I love the culinary shows.
Yeah.
Like Feed Phil. Somebody feed Phil. I adore that. I adore that, man. Such a love for life and food and encountering individuals. I will watch that show over and over again because it's like a comfort show, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people do that with cooking shows in general, but also...
1 quick second.
Yeah. You. Oh, Kitty's getting in trouble.
Yeah, she was just playing around with that mini I was talking about before, and it's not one she can putz around with.
Oh, yeah. Lightning Hawk reminded me and us. It is a free time gate weekend this weekend.
Oh, yes, that's correct.
We've gotten out of the habit of free time gate weekends because of the events 2.0 and the everything all different about the schedules and things. We totally got off the free time gate weekend track.
Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah, Barefoot Monkey, never heard of a marshmallow plant. Thanks for teaching me something. Wikipedia says it's called Athelia officinalis. If Orkira ever had a daughter, would she be called Athelia? That's a nice name. Nice name. I don't ever see Orkira having kids. I think she's too busy traveling around and is I think she enjoys being the aunt to Freely and Penelope's kids way more than having kids herself.
Yep.
She's the cool aunt that shows up with a bag of marshmallows. Flies on in. Takes the kids out for some fun.
There you go. Loads them up with
Freely
sugar.
gets all upset. Yeah. Penelope's like, why do the kids always come back with like burn marks on their clothing that we have to mend? I don't know. Don't ask me. Okay, bye.
Nothing happened. Nothing to see here.
See you in 3 weeks. Bye.
See you later. Bye. All right. I'm thinking we're at a good stopping point for this fellow today.
Yeah, we only have a couple more minutes, and I think you've made an excellent point. But we've done a lot.
We have. We've made some really good progress. I mean, I'm so happy with how this wrap looks.
Oh, yeah.
Really liking this effect. that translated exactly as I hoped it would. So
Yeah.
next
And it's a
week,
nice color shift.
yeah. Next week we'll keep working on the Cyclops, and we'll start working on the Oni. I think is how it's going to play out with these two.
Sounds like a plan.
So it's gonna be. Now the question is do I change the plans I had for the Oni, and paint her to look like Fry and Leela's daughter and give her purple hair? We'll save the hair and I'll think about that. How's that idea?
Yeah, we'll have to mull over that one for a little bit.
Oh god, that would be hysterical though. That would be
But whatever we decide, I will definitely get that information about the Oni up on our Discord, discord.gg/idlechampions. Oh, Enrique Fantasco, the people not only use Orkira, she is the best champion. You should definitely, if you haven't unlocked her yet, absolutely unlock her. Make sure you gear her up. She's good in everything and should be used at all times in all of your parties.
Or you could use Voronika.
Or use Voronika. I am not at all biased.
All right, folks, don't forget, it is the weekend, and we have the Mischief Makers weekend happening right now. You should be getting those newsletters in your email inboxes. And in that email about the newsletter, you'll get the code for a free gold pranked chest. If you're not getting these newsletters because you haven't signed up for the newsletter, guess what? You need to go into the game, log in, check out, get yourself signed up for that newsletter, and you'll get the newsletters coming your way on Fridays. So just keep that in mind. And as we just mentioned, it is a time gate weekend. So if there are some champions you're kind of wanting to get into your roster that you haven't gotten yet, take advantage of that. And then don't forget, once you get those champions happening next week, we have this cool champion search. We just had the blog post go out live yesterday about this. We have this cool champion search, so it's going to make it even easier, or make it more easy for you to be able to go in, find the champions you need for various reasons, type in, I am looking for all tieflings, I am looking for all this, that, or the other thing, and this champion search is going to be helping you with that. So definitely go check out that blog. It gives you more details as opposed to just a quick overview that I just gave you. But this is a cool thing that is coming your way next week. We are targeting for the 29th. So just keep that one in mind. It's not in the game yet, but it's coming very soon.
Very, very soon.
Very, very soon. And I think that is basically everything we have happening for this weekend.
Yeah.
So Lauren and I will see you next week. Again, we'll be finishing up the Cyclops and jumping into the Oni. That is the Oni from the Oni Paint Kit, which is the female Oni from the D&D Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures line from WizKids. How many froms can we get in there?
All of
so
them.
Keep that all in mind. And there'll be information in the Discord. And until next week, I hope everyone who's in the U.S. celebrating the holiday weekend has a lovely and restful time and gets to enjoy your favorite barbecue dish. And for everyone who's not in the U.S., I hope you just have a restful weekend and, a good start to next week. Until next Friday, everyone. Bye. Bye.